Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. It's so scary. Oh my god. Okay, hey guys, it's Chikachu. So we're going to play a new Let's Play of a new, maybe new, I don't know, a horror game called Tiny Money that I have come across on Steam, and I'm really kind of just diving into this because I don't really know much about it, but I know that there are like 5 chapters, and 3 of them are available to play, so fuck yeah, we're fucking doing this shit. We are going in and we are just getting our spoopy on. So if you are ready to get scared and have a lot of fucking fun and get scared with me, let's do this. So let's fucking do it. Let's go. I don't know anything to expect from this game, but I'm so fucking excited. Alright. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, wheezing, swaying back and forth. Why are you just describing all my traits? Like, bruh, do not call me out like that, please. One would come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Sorry, it's just my grandpa playing a joke. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still, oh, there's a fox! Oh my god, I did not notice the fox in there. Oh, episode 1, the owl will arrive. Also, I cannot pronounce my R's, so don't come at me for not pronouncing my R's correctly. It's not my fault. Is someone... Oh, are we getting some tea? Would you like some tea with your wine? Oh, I had to click the screen. Fucking shit.
Убери книгу немедленно.
What? Okay. Hey, put away your book, says mom.
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом.
How many
Вредно.
times have I told you
Сидишь,
not to?
сутулился весь.
How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. I can hide my book. Oh my god. This is so cool. Wait, am I like... Who am I? I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line and I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Oila had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. But I don't think that's gonna work out very well for you. I mean, just keep trying. If it works out, let me know. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. That just sounds very unappetizing. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cussed-Out Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Oh, I can imagine how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. The ocean itself is very fucking terrifying. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes.
Что я говорила?
What did I just say?
Я достану.
I'll get it. Oh, is that a child? Okay. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this? Carved on the other side of the table? Karina. How long have you lived here and you have not noticed this etched into the bottom side of your table? Questions. So many questions, bro. Ha! That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She was sure a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? Hey, that forest is pretty thick. Some thick-ass trees. Ew. Oh, I'm sorry. I imagined my grandma coming into my mom's...
Понравишься, в беде не бросит.
If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble.
А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю.
But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground.
Тут и дело с концом.
And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Mutual. Fuck! So, this reminds me of reading back in high school. I hated it. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. Damn, bitch, you're already ahead of the game, already preparing for your death. She had already bought a casket. Well, aren't you morbid?
New studies available on Prolific.
And she called it her cute funeral box. That's concerning. That's concerning. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the last time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. What the fuck? I crawled out from under the table. Wait, so you're telling me you had all these flashbacks under the table? Your sister's probably like, what the fuck? Is that your... okay. Oyla was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland creature. I turned my gaze towards the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. Well, they obviously kind of grabbed your attention if you noticed them. You had a... Okay. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса!
Oila, look, it's a fox. Yeah. It's so cute. Oh, it's a little fox. I love him. He needs a name. Okay. Meatball. His name is now Meatball. Meatball the fox.
Где?
Where? It looks almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле.
Not outside, on the window.
Смотри, вот нос, вот.
Look, here's the nose, and here's...
Ну-ка, доедай.
Hey, eat up.
Да, да, сейчас.
Yes, yes, just a moment.
Я ничего не вижу.
I don't see anything!
Живо. Совсем немного осталось.
Hurry up, there's not much left.
А, вот. Но все равно не похоже.
Here it is. But it still doesn't look like one.
А я говорю, похоже.
And I'm telling you it does.
Не-а.
Nuh-uh.
Похоже.
It does.
Прекратите. Ну что за дети?
Oof. Stop it, these kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. No, not Meatball. Oh. He went away. Meatball went away, guys. Meatball has left the building. Only the frosty patterns similar to stretched out nettle leaves kept creeping up the glass. That scared the fuck out of me, bro. God damn, that man just came out of fucking nowhere. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps.
New studies available on Prolific.
I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off. It stings." Okay. This was so long ago. Hi. I'm fine. I know how to edit stuff out, honey. You're making so much fucking noise anyway. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Play your damn game, bro.
Huh?
Play your game, dude.
What?
Play your game.
I'm waiting for you to watch a video. I was doing fine until you showed up. Can you hear me?
No.
Yes, you can.
Just play your game.
Just watch your video.
I am watching my video. Holy fuck. I'm so self-conscious.
Because it's nerve-wracking. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Honey. Honey, tell me if you can hear me or not.
What, dude?
Can you hear me?
No. Why am I volume really loud?
Okay.
What?
Fuck
Play
you.
your game, dude.
It's all for your sake, Dad would reply, for the sake of our family. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. It's dick, isn't it? Devo? I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Да что твоя лиса? Вот у меня на окне сова.
Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window.
Опять ты со своей совой.
Well, hello.
Ты же вчера мне верил.
You said you believed me just yesterday.
Никто ключи от машины не видел? Вроде оставлял на подоконнике.
Вроде.
Right.
Вроде оставлял, вроде нет.
Maybe you did and maybe not.
Вроде взрослый мужчина, отец двоих детей, а вроде...
You're a grown man, a father of two, and still you're an idiot.
Перестань, пожалуйста, Карина.
Karina, please stop.
Дай мне спокойно собраться.
Just let me get ready in peace.
В корзине твои ключи, возле телефона.
Your keys are in the basket near the phone.
Огромное тебе человеческое спасибо.
Well, thank you very much.
Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик сидишь.
Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. God damn, this fucking kid hasn't eaten. Fucking damn, bro, you're slower than a fucking...
А сова?
But the owl...
Не было там никакой совы.
There was no owl.
Была.
But there was one.
Глазюки огромные. Вот. И светятся.
It had giant glowing eyes. Fuck. Orla sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу. Сейчас сова.
What's that? Babai? In Slavic folklore, a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. Babai! Last year you had Babai in your closet, and now this owl.
Но я же видела.
But I saw it. Orla shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support.
А ты не думала подружиться с ней, нет?
Have you thought about befriending it?
Вымышленными мышами покормить, например.
You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice.
Не подначивай ребенка.
Don't bully our girl.
Просто мала еще. И спать одна боится.
She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Orla pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, she angry. She angry. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. That's my favorite movie as a kid. It was stored on incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad had already had to glue back together once. It was so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. Is that something I'm gonna have to do later? But how do you fix a relationship? Oh no, brother, you tell me when you figure it out. Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Hopefully Meatball will return. Orla had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped her take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Fucking Jesus Christ! Fuck. Oh my god. Holy shit, bro. And then Orla says she saw that giant flying monster outside of her window. Don't do that again. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Orla refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was so unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of myself. Can nightmares be infectious? That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the fat black silhouettes. Or flat, my bad. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. Who is making that noise in the background? I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go back there that badly. I didn't want to see people who were just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. What was it? Now I'm curious. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider of some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Oila begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circles of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I don't know, my husband has thick glasses and he's pretty cute. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy, going during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet, cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls of the place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the end of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's so pretty. Those animals are having so much fun. Bro. They're doing a little jig. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. I mean, if animals are fucking dancing, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. I don't like this. Oh no, I don't like this at all. Oh no, dancing shadows froze in place and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. I don't like this. Why am I blushing? No! I don't like it. Oh! One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Oh no! Stop! Jesus, no! It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. No! My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. Okay, I think we're okay. The music started again. That's a good sign. Oh my fuck. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. Me too. Me too. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. That is a well-known rule, that all the blankets will protect you from any kind of monster. If you're under the blanket, they can't get you. The shackles of fear flocked to my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. And oh, Jesus Christ. Sadie, no. It's okay, Sadie, it's okay. It's just my cat having a little she ate too fast. Sadie, it's okay. It's okay, Sadie. It's okay. It's okay. You're fine. It's okay. Cough it out. Cough it out. It's just a little hairball. It's okay. There you go. Did you get it? You got it out? Okay, good. Okay. Good job, Sadie. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagine those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Oh my god. Why am I blushing? No! Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. It's just so gross. I was chanting the spells she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now lying under the blanket and listening to the squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words.
На острове Буяне, в синем океане, стоит домовина, в ней сало и глина, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда.
On the island of Buin, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood.
Бесы забудут дорогу к дому.
Evil leave this house must.
Мертвый к мертвому, живой к живому.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. I do not like this! And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. This sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Wait, is that the front door? You live in the fucking front room of the house? Oh, there's a cat. Hello, cat. But what the fuck is wrong with you? Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. Maybe he should have installed 4, maybe 5? I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому.
Ashes to ashes.
Живое к живому.
Dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then... the doorknob twitched slightly. I don't like this. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no fucking hands? Then doorknob tilted once more, and then... Stop it! No! Stop it! He demands to be let in! You let that man in! My jaw crimped from fear. My why are your fingers wet? Why are your fingers wet? Why are they wet? Oh my no. Hell no. To the no, no, no. The door creaked and opened. Bro. No. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. What am I seeing? The door is wide open. The darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony? Tony the tiger? It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, me too, bitch, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who had weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony? My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. Me too. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me,
Ты спишь, Тоша?
Tosha? You asleep? Oh no. No, the music stopped. No. No, no, no. No. Jesus Christ. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief.
Оля, я не сплю. Что случилось?
We're all good. Oyla? I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Oyla frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry.
Оно опять прилетело и пялится на меня.
It's there again, staring at me.
Прогони ее, Тоша. Прогони, пожалуйста.
Shoo her away, Tosha, please.
Я так боюсь.
I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Oyla down.
Это был сон, глупая. Не пугайся. Сны не кусаются. Никто тебя не обидит.
It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Oyla sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself?
У меня есть идея.
I have an idea.
А пойдем к тебе в комнату, видик посмотрим. Спящую красавицу, например.
Let's go to your room and watch the video, Sleeping Beauty, for example.
Тебе же нравится этот мультик?
Hi, Sadie. You like that cartoon, don't you?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
This is the question. Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? That question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай посмотрим Золушку.
Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Тоша, ты идешь?
Toysha, you're coming?
Да, сейчас.
Yes, sis, just a moment. Sadie, I just died and you bitch! Oh my god, bitch! That's why I didn't want to laugh at Oyla and her owl in the morning. Oh my god. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? Your grandma. We don't know anyone around here. My heart is racing. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled. Me too! Just from a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Orla always hides. Man, that's the best place to hide. Toysha, come here. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. Who the fuck? A couple of policemen towered over me in the door. I gotta know. Dad's dead. The demons killed him. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At that moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
Oh, it's not Dad, okay. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova.
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Oh my god, so goddamn. That cat is so cute. Oh, that cat. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with the wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
No, I haven't.
Точно? Посмотри внимательней.
Are you sure? Look closely.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю. Да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here and I barely leave the house.
А может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window?
Да. У тебя ведь окна на лес.
That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window.
Нет, не видел.
No, I haven't seen anything.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes are staring deep into my soul right now. His stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I hadn't noticed there before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it?
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
There's a cross in there. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
What the fuck is that? Yes, everything is alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Can I help you somehow? Can you stop staring at me, please? It makes me uncomfortable. I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю,
Now that I think about it,
ты, малец, на племеша моего похож.
you look just like one of my nephews, little fella.
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет, с такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался, детективами.
He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles, always engrossed in reading those mystery novels.
Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить.
Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visits during the summer.
Как я, хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. Grandma?
Ох, ребятушки,
You know what?
сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
That was very rude of you for cutting me off. Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
What grade are you in, Anton?
В 6.
6th.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Have you made any friends here so far?
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
Then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. And his cat? You can't fucking forget his cat. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone, there. For some reason I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually?
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. A Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand which was produced on the, I'm going to butcher that word, car factory. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. A series of contemporary Russian original or translated mystery teen books. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing ventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Oyla will be so happy. And not only Oyla, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. Oh, auto. Okay, I can do auto. I fantasize about buying Oyla a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's an annoying song about it. Accountant? A song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination that became widely popular in the 90s. Interesting. I had little to no idea what the accountant's job was like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Oyla. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, сейчас.
Yeah.
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили.
You want the police to go around with your
Лес вот
photograph
такой
next?
густой.
The forest is
А
so
если
thick.
мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals, or something even worse? Even worse echoed through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять.
Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself?
Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
Better go pack your school bag or play with Oyla. She has a point. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Just about to say there's... What is that? The cross had seen so many people come and go inside this house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross's sharp corner and almost fell off the stepladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. True. My parents prohibit me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in the ice-laden chords. Sad? Mom's peg top. A family relic. My mom played with it when she was little, and then she gifted it to me. Oyla was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. Okay. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale or maybe even our future. Now even my little sister is a bit too old for the squeaky peg top. Is there anything else to look at? Oh no. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? I was literally just about to fucking ask that. She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. How are you gonna cut yourself if you're... You have to have like your nose right up against the blade. Mom sounds like a bitch. Oyla can't even be lured close to it. She thinks bye-bye is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. What? And I like to hide in the closet and listen to Oila count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Okay. The side of an old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Oila liked so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov? I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawled handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and to take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Vova and be the first to call the police with the happy news.
Антон!
Anton.
New studies available on Prolific.
Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me.
Зачем тебе? Не трогай, потеряешь же.
What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being able to reveal it all the time. I smiled at that fleeting thought. Vertical, 9 letters, the name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of the Flies. Second letter is E. I don't know, don't look at me.
МЧС России объявила экстренное предупреждение из-за неблагоприятных погодных условий.
Emercom of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions.
По прогнозу синоптиков, к региону приближается циклон, из-за которого ожидается сильный снег, метель, снежные заносы на дорогах.
According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snowdrifts on the road.
Будьте осторожны и берегите себя.
Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Note it. The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so that I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning, as if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. I grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with caution, and it tore off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. 7 can't carry, bring the 8th from the ferry. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log cannot escape. I crumpled the gray leaf and threw it in the waste bin, hoping to get rid of that anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. What's in the fridge? I don't know what any of this is. Oh, there's some eggs at the top. That's all I can make out. What the fuck is that? That's all ice cream. Is that what is that? That looks so gross. No, I'm sorry if that. Oh. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Oila there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together. Pelmeni? I grew to hate them already. A Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling thin, unleavened dough filled with mincemeat. One may even call it Russian fast food. It doesn't look... It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Mom, there's something wrong with the TV.
Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих.
Ah, you're killing me here. So you have had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now?
Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой.
Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console.
Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh?
Может быть, просто настройки сбились?
Maybe it's just the settings?
Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Please, go see for yourself.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Strange. It worked fine in the morning.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Euler's room. Now we can sneak the fuck out. Can I look at the window? No. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Euler. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended up at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Euler turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Euler present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and anything. And somewhere far away a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the oncoming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There was only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobbly tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Coniferous? Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. That's that. The has to be his. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird amongst the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. A Russian mystery TV series telling a story of the daily life of Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. He was also always very anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Not like that. I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. As if the trees were calling out to someone. It resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Oh my God. Its stillness. How it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. I don't like that. I don't like that. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Do I take it? Oh no. I'm gonna take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Fucking Christ! Fuck! Fuck! Stop it! Stop it! A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I just want the mitten. I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. Stop. It didn't budge. I pulled hard in the branch, cracked, and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. Ew! All too heavy. What? I squeezed it without thinking. Something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You could do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears were numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became viscous as quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants? Why am I blushing? I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave way. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of this pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me out in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you not to never slam the door?
Я случайно.
I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone and the breath was too. It was if there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, 5 mere meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with the last bit of strength I had left in my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before after all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow.
Ты где был? Я тебе что говорила, а? Чтобы ты дома сидел.
Where have you been? What did I tell you? I told you to stay home.
Я и для тебя pustое место.
Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. but Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel.
У отца сигареты пропали.
Your dad can't find his cigarettes. How
Признавайся,
the
ты их
fuck is
стащил.
that helpful?
Курить бегаешь.
Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret?
Там за мной кто-то гнался. Я думал, меня...
There was someone chasing me, I thought. I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand.
Гляди, вон же они. Прямо у забора.
Look, over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs? Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding me of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest.
Божечки, ты их испугался? Да они сами тебя перепугаются, Антон.
Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you.
Они гнались за мной, словно за зайцем.
They were chasing me like a bunny.
А вдруг они бешеные?
And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them.
Что если они нападут на Олю?
What if they attack Oyla?
Мам,
Mom?
Вот бы твой отец их всех перестрелял.
I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Miss Ma'am, we're gonna have to sit down and have a talk about you shooting some stray dogs. That's not acceptable in this household.
мама, они живые.
Mom, look, they're... Oh. Well, no fucking shit. No fucking shit that they're fucking alive. Would a damn dead dog be barking and wagging its fucking tail? I don't fucking think so. Maybe you do need your fucking eyes checked. Those glasses aren't working out for you, little man.
А что? Ты уж определись, они тебе друзья или враги?
Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind.
Не маленький ведь уже.
You're not a little kid anymore. You're not a little kid anymore. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among the monsters, but rather my pants among a stupid pack of strays. And for what? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course! Of course! A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. And that's where we are stopping for today. Oh my god, it's been fucking amazing so far. I am really enjoying the series. And we will definitely pick this up again. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in part 2. Bye!